Boom! SEO this week, episode number 65. Mapping out site structure is the topic today. So, if you haven't been keeping up, we are doing a PPL site, pay per lead. We're setting it up in Miami, and the niche is roofing. Doing this start to finish. We're going to do it all live. Last week, we actually went through and purchased our domain name. However, I didn't get access to it because we purchased it on auction until yesterday. So there is no site to show you when we'll go through the site build. But we are going to continue to do some of our research stuff that will make our site build a little bit easier, flow a little bit faster. So I want to go through that. One thing in the news, the SEO news land part is there is some rumblings that there is an update going on right now. Some people are claiming, because claiming is really early, that it has something to do with Penguin and backlinks. People are already declaring software tools dead. Every time an update comes, they blame the software tool. So they're already declaring the tool's dead. I haven't seen anything. As a matter of fact, I have some clients in some pretty cool and competitive niches, and their competitors are using a lot of PBNs, etc. Rankings are going up. 301 rankings are going up. Software tools, my testing sites that I hit with software, those are all up. So I don't know if there's any merit to what people are saying about the update, or that it's happening. It could be, but we'll see. At the end of the day, I think if you have been following along and your on page is good, probably don't have anything to worry about. Most of the updates happen to link builders that depend solely on link building to rank, and forget about the on page. So that's those are the guys that are really getting hurt by these kind of things anyway. So it might take a little bit. You might see some bouncing. Don't panic. Don't make any assumptions, and just write it out and see what happens from there. So that is my SEO news for the week. So let's see what happens, and we'll see what the forums and the SEO blog say later. But all I know is I got a lot of green arrows in my rank tracker today, so that's cool. All right. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and jump right into doing our further research. So what I'm talking about here is what we're going to do is we're going to look at the other websites that are in the roofing market and see the other services that they're offering. So typically, like as another example, another niche I'm in is insulation. So, spray foam insulation, you have attic insulation, roof insulation, renovation insulation, those kind of different services, and they're all listed on the competition's website. So when we built out that website, we did the same thing. Now, if you are a follower of Chris Winters over at Calzoo, you're going to recognize the method that I use for keyword research. Probably hands down the best one that I found. It is also painful. So I took his spreadsheet, modified it to my own needs, and kind of sped things up a little bit. But at the end of the day, you're not going to get around doing this work. And you should do this work. It'll help you, one, determine if the market is important enough for you to get involved with it, and two, to just save you a whole lot of headache later. Because there's nothing like wasting a whole bunch of time ranking for something and then there's no traffic. So this will, quote unquote, hopefully save you a lot of that madness. But in the end, it is what it is. You're gonna run into it every once in a while. So with that being said, let's get into the niche research. Let me share my screen, and you guys are gonna have to let me know if you're seeing everything, and if I have to zoom in a little bit more. I'm sharing two windows because it's kind of how I work. Share screen. And most importantly, let me know that you can read the spreadsheet. And while I'm zooming in here, let's go. Zoom in. We'll give it a 150. Slide over. And hopefully you guys can see that now clearly, right? So we're good. All right, so Gabe did ask a question. We'll go ahead and hit his up. Do you outsource a site build? Do you have teams that build them out? I have a graphics designer on call. I don't have enough work for him to keep him constantly employed. So typically, I'm looking at if I want him to make a whole brand new custom look, which I don't think I'm going to do. I haven't decided yet, but I don't think I'm going to do. I could pay anywhere from $250 to $500 for him to do that. And then the build out into WordPress, that'll cost me another $250. So, you're looking at $500 expenses if I go that route. If I go the other way and I can build it using Divi and some templates, some skins, and that's always an option too. But we'll see how they do that. And then another question is Pappas asks, can you have an H2 before an H1? Yep. What a good example of that is, let's say you have a hero image and your call to action is in text. So I use those H2s, and then the topic of the post is outside of the hero, so there's where the H1 is at. So that's perfectly fine. In that instance, typically the best practices when you think of your H tags and using those is a outline for your page, like I teach. You wouldn't want to do that, but there are instances where you're that'll happen. So typically you're going to find those in the heroes. You wouldn't do that inside your content. Alrighty, so let's get going. So we're going to look at roofing. Remember, we were going to do Miami, so I'm going to go to Miami roofers. I'm actually going to search like I'm in Miami. Save us some time. Amazon. And we're going to stick with broad terms. We're not going to do local modifiers yet, just because we want to know some stuff. So roofing is as in the product. We're not selling the product. So we're going to do roofing contractors. That's going to be our first broad term. We're going to look in here. We know we're going to do that one, right? So roofing contractors. 40,000. Actually, it's 40,500. Okay. Cost per click, $20.79. Why do you want to know that? Typically, people will pay the average 4 times the average PPC. So if $20 is the cost per click for that is what they're paying now, then your pay per lead, your actual real person on the phone who wants roofing, you can charge $80 for that and justify it completely. So you can do, when you're doing your sales pitch, hey, you can pay $20 for a click and maybe they're going to call you, or you can pay $80 for the phone call and that you're going to talk to them. Which one do you want to do? Can you talk about that sheet? Oh, yeah, I guess I can do that. All right. So like I said, if you've ever talked to or listened to or seen a training by Chris Winters, he has a program called Callsu. It does have a call tracking function into it. And basically the entire purpose of that thing is a pay-per-lead model. And there's 2 courses that he sells. There's Callsu SEO, and then there's Callsu PPC. The PPC one is, essentially the same thing, and they're just using ads. They're paying for the ads up front, and then they're selling the leads that the ads generate. So that's really how it goes. Then you have all these different like indicators just to help you keep track. So in our case, where it says installation, we're actually doing roofing. right, it's in the home improvement niche. Is it seasonal? Kind of depends on the area. In our case, no, because it's Miami. It's personal. No. Is it national? Yep, it could be. So, and then our keywords. So I use a top 4 to 7. You can go as many as you want, but you want at least 4. And then the next column is the number of searches per month, the average cost per click, and then 4 times the average PPC. So this times 4, and it'll do that for me automatically. And then if I want to, I actually have it set up to actually flip this stuff around, and I can find out the inverse. But we're not doing that in this column because we're just going with broad. We haven't done any local modifiers. And then I think you're all cut up. So roofing contractors, that's the first one we're looking at. Then I want to look at commercial roofing. I think I want to do commercial too. So commercial roofing or roofing repair. So let's do commercial roofing first. Commercial roofing, 6,600. So there's a good one for us. Commercial roofing, 6,600 a month. We can actually nail that down even closer to commercial roofing contractors. Yeah, that's even better for us. So we're going to do commercial roofing contractors. And the reason I did that is because commercial roofing could be looking for the product, or it could be looking for actual people to do it. This one leaves no doubt. We're looking for people to do it. So that's why I did that. 2,900 a month. PPC is 3,120. I can sell those leads for 124.80. Just fine. It's probably underpricing them, actually, if you think about it. Commercial roofing, you know what, $15,000 to $50,000 job, and I'm only asking for $124 is really undervaluing in that lead, but it'll be an easy sell, and as I get more people going, that'll help. So roofing company, let's do that one. Hopefully you guys can see the screen over here. Roofing company, PPC is 40,000, so we're good. We'll go with that one. Or search volume per month, sorry. 40,000. Cost per click is 19. 14. $76, $77 running up per lead is what I could potentially charge. Let's see. Let's find some more opportunities here. Broward, no, those are local. We don't need those just yet. Roofing contractors. I'm going to bring this up so we can get some more related terms. Roofing contractor, contractors, roofing companies. I think we pretty much got it. Let's see what Home Advisor is doing. Roofing contractors, Miami. If you're looking for content, by the way, there's a nice content list for your local sites. Come to Home Advisor and read that off. Garage doors. Repair tile roof, roof repair, roof replace. There you go. See? Roof repair. Roof repair, roof repair. So we go with roof repair. That's a good one. $40,500 search volume. 1511 cost per click. $60 a lead. Let's go to roof replace. Roof replacement. Local, generating leads, Miami Herald, Home Advisor, Miami Roofing Contractors, roof replacement base mix. Yeah, we'll just do roof replacement. That'll work. Roof replacement Miami. Just to verify when I'm not completely off base. Yep. So roof replacement will work too. So. All right. Roof replacements. 6,600. 17.20 a click. Almost $70 a lead. So there's our 5. We got 5, and then we're going to find the rest of those when we start looking into these later. So I'm going to do a little trick here, and I'm not going to do all of these cities. So if you see that, don't worry about it. We're not doing that. Go here, paste, and there you go. And now it's all populated for me. Okay, so I want to change this. Actually, I don't have to. Well, yeah, I do. I'm going to change this to New York. So we're going to New York now. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to find some different opportunities. Obviously, this site is going to go national eventually, right? So even though we're starting in Miami, we can look at research for these other cities. Go to New York. Use precise location, roof replacement, and then our first term is roofing contractors. 0 search volume, which is okay. So roofing contractors, New York, 0 search volume. It's not going to kill us. And I know for a fact that just because Google tells me that they don't have it, doesn't necessarily mean that there's not going to be any search volume there. So I'm not worried about those too much. There's 10 here. Cost per click, $31.78. So they're paying $31.78 for a click for that primary term. So if I actually get them a lead, I can sell it for $127 in New York for just that one term right there. Roofing company in New York. $140 a month. So that's probably going to be, pretty par with that roofing contractors thing. So we're not worried about it. Like I said, that's a good term for us. $12.49. $50 per lead. That'd be awesome. Roofing repair in New York. $30 a month. $16.88. Almost $70 per lead. We'll see. And that one's 0. So roof replacement. Because they don't replace their roofs in New York. They just buy new ones. So that's cool. And then this is pure personal preference. You guys do whatever you want, but this is how I do it. I go in here and I mark the ones in yellow so that I know when I get through all of these there's some patterns there, and I can see that pattern instantly with the colors. So do it however you want. And the ones that I mark with yellow have search volume. And let's say I see commercial roofing repair and every city has search volume, then I'm going to make a page for commercial roofing repair. Roofing company city has search volume, and in every city, I'm going to make a page for roofing company city in every city. That's basically how that process works. And you do that with all of your keywords. As you get down to your list, now you know that I can charge, let's say, I do Los Angeles, and Los Angeles's cost per click is way higher than New York's. I can charge a different price in LA than I can in New York, but it might be easier or harder for me to rank in New York than LA. So why don't I just go do LA first? I can charge more and then go rank in New York later. So that's kind of some of the information that you wouldn't know if you hadn't done this kind of keyword research. Finally, what you want to do is go into your term, and we're going to do this one because it's the best for New York. Roofing companies, New York. I want to see what the vertical is. Or not the vertical, but the submit. So is it an email submit, or looking for forms, or looking for phone calls? I want to generate phone calls. I want to sell phone calls. So I'm making sure that these are all doing that. So we're going to open up some of these websites. Don't open up the Home Advisor. It's pointless to you. Don't open up Yelp. It's useless. Open up your actual competition in the area. See, best roofing company in New York. I bet you 10 to 1 that's going to be Allegiant. Gene Roofing. Orica. So those are our real competition. BBB, Angie's List, Yelp, Home Advisor, they're not our competition. And honestly, in my opinion, I think that people are skipping over these sites now. I know I am. I've actually tried to hire contractors from Home Advisor and Angie's List, and you don't ever get any responses. If that's my experience with it, why am I ever going to go back there? And I think those sites are getting the same way. And people are specifically looking for these actual local businesses. So if we do our pages right, we set the local businesses up, and we actually get these stars to show, because we're ranking internal pages and not home pages. We actually do pretty good here. All right, so let's go. I'm going to close this. Again, if you're looking for internal pages for your website, just come in here, especially on these local businesses. So there's all my blog content right there. It's already planned out for me if you wanted to. All right, so here's what we're going to look at. What else are they doing? So roof repairs, installations, gutter installations. So we know we probably need to look at those, right? I'm just going to mark these just so that I know I haven't done anything with them yet. So roof repair, we already got. Roof installations. Roof installations. Gutter installations, I don't know if I really want to do. There is money there, especially like in Washington where I'm at. So those are the two that we know about. They're looking for phone calls, so we're good there. And the site's kind of shit. It could be because I have it changed. Maybe you guys can look at it later. This site's crap. And that's a rotating slider with no call to action. What a waste of space. I would have a form right there, maybe a video saying, who we are, etc. A rotating slider, that's a waste. Let's go look at the services. New roof, roof maintenance, gutter installations, lead pipes, solar energy. That's another good market. Services, roof deck installations. Yeah. Fancy skylights, I don't care about. Roof maintenance. This might be an interesting one to keep. Put it there. for now. Well, we'll see if we want to get involved with that. So now we know. This one's good. It verifies phone number, some different things for us. So our services, roof repairs, got it in the list, installations, new construction and remodels. That's the first time we've seen that one. Phone calls is what he's looking for. Yeah, man, you're so famous. That's a good trust thing, though. So that's that's a good job there. And then his service areas. Let's look at his service areas. Hudson Bay. This is a pretty cool service area map. If you can do that with Google Maps, use a Google Earth Pro and try to do something like that, and then import it in Google Maps. That would look pretty sharp, I think. Especially if you drop your GMB in there and send traffic to it. All right. Fabulous roofing services, flat roof, shingle roofing. Shingle roofing, that's new. This site is horrible. Oh, geez, that is ugly. It's it. Phone numbers there. That's it. That's a halfway decent attempt at creating a call to action. The rest, this is completely worthless down here. You can't even read it with that there. So that whole thing's in the back is messing that up. Services. Let's look at shingle roofing. Shingle roofer project. Let's see if that's even worth it. Shingle roof. Installation is $1,600. Prices contractors is $70. Not even worth it. I'm not gonna go. Don't care. Phone number. This is better. Address, phone, address, phone, address, phone. It's got a lot of scripts in the background. I didn't even click on anything. That's interesting. Those are click to call, but they don't say click to call. So unless I'm intentionally looking to hover over it, I wouldn't have done it. Form is all right. This could be redesigned. Look a little cleaner. Live chat. That's cool. That may be an option for us if we get a lot of traffic. Why not have a live chat system? Get all the information for the project and then send it off more, and I can charge more for that lead. Maps down there at the bottom. But for the most part, we're looking at phone call to action. Let's see their roofing services they're offering. Flat roof construction and repairs. Because that's New York, right? So they're doing flat roof. I don't see anything else. Let's do flat roofing. Contractors near me, 260. Flat roof repair. Flat roofing repair. That's a good one. Flat roofing company, not so much, but flat roofing repair. It's local. Lots of people are doing it in New York, but that monthly search volume says, hey, I should be looking at that. So let's put that in here too. All right. Commercial roofing company. Phone call. Stupid sliders that are a waste. There's no call to actions in there. There's no text. There they are. Comes in slowly. That's a waste. Comes in way too slow. Yeah, who cares? Lock it into one. put that in there and put a form or a call to action. Call us right now. That would have been much better. Phone numbers there. So we're on the right track. Everyone's looking for phone calls. Commercial roofing, apartment roofing, residential roofing. Residential roofing might be something to look at. Get a quote. Need. So let's look at residential roofing. Might be New York, New Jersey. Residential roofing, $2,400 a month. Yeah. 15 search volume. Residential roofing services, systems. I don't know, for 2,400 a search volume, I wouldn't do it. I don't necessarily want to completely wipe it off. So we'll look at it. And then there's our last one, and I'll kind of wrap that up with this. So here's a good one. Look, commercial roofing, residential roofing. So green roofing, waterproofing. Waterproofing, that's the first time we've seen that one. Residential roofing, we've seen twice, so it's a good thing we saved it. All right. Waterproofing roof, 4,000. No search volume in the city. And I'm looking here because I want to see how these guys are doing it now. Inside of Miami. Roof paint and waterproofing. So waterproofing might be something to look at. Roofing and waterproofing might be something to look at, right? So waterproofing is probably a term that we need to have in our content, waterproofing. So which one do I want to dump? I'm going to save it over here for right now. Waterproofing. We'll look at it. Maybe I dump the gutter installations because we only saw that on one site, right? But we saw waterproofing over here in Miami, and we saw it in the New York, so we might see that again. So those two are completely interchangeable right now. I don't need a whole lot of keywords to start off. I just need this, this set. So we're going to take this set, and then we'll go down the line for each one of the cities and do that same process that we just did to check the search volume and the cost per click. Can I sell it? Is it going to work with the model I'm looking for? And is it consistent across all of these cities? I just picked these cities out at random when I made my sheet. I can change that as I want to. It doesn't really matter. But, when you make your sheet, do the same thing. No, I will not give this to you because it's part of Calzi's plan, but you've really seen it. It's the niche, seasonal, personal, national, the keywords, the search volume, cost per click, multiply that by 4, and then just do the same thing for each city, and then you're good to go. If you want to go crazy with it, you do the flip. Basically, roofing company, New York roofing company, and look down that line too. This is really good work if you're teaching someone new SEO inside your market and you want to teach them keyword research. I guarantee you they will never get keyword research wrong again once they go through this. But you and I know that some markets, roof repair in New York and New York roof repair might equal the same cost per click. It might even have the same traffic volume, where in other terms it doesn't. And especially if you start going into AdWords and you want to use this as a, you build these up and then you start doing click to call through AdWords and selling the leads that way in other cities without building a website for them. Knowing that other flip number is really important because you can set up broad match modifier PPC campaigns. As an example, SEO City and City SEO have two completely different price structures. And we've set that up inside of AdWords for 50 cities and seen that differently. So depending on the variation you use, you can spend half of the PPC dollar and get the same amount of traffic. But most people don't know to look at that inverse. So that's why I do the flip. And that's really it. You just kind of want to go through here and look through, like I said, look through what this call to action is. If we're trying to generate phone calls and you want to pick a market that has the primary call to action that everyone's using is get phone calls. If you want form submits, then your primary call to action, then make sure all your primary call to actions are form submits. In local, it's mostly phone calls. Especially in this contractor market. So that's how you do that. That's how you do the keyword research, make sure your services are good, etc. And then I'm going to call that done with this. Let me minimize this. Let me bring this back so that I can actually talk to the screen, and then I'm going to click present. So how would that look in the side structure when I'm building this bad boy out? As you can see, I changed the, the blackboard so you can see it a little bit better. So your pay, so now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 services. So your homepage, and then your 10 services. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 pages for each one of your keywords. So remember, Google ranks pages, not websites, right? So I'm going to have a page for roofing contractors, a page for commercial roofing contractors, a page for roofing company, optimized for that thing. Are you looking for a roofing company in Miami? So roofing company Miami is my page, is what I'm optimizing, creating that page for, right? So I want to have those broad pages matched in here. So roofing company, etc. And hopefully you guys can see that. I'm going to switch the colors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I got my dogs down at my feet, so that's why I'm standing funny. So this would be roofing company. And then I'd have my cities underneath it. In our case, we're starting with Miami. And then under those, I'd have my relevance pages. Relevance being, let's go stuff about the city, neighborhoods, and then specific issues in roofing in that city. So New York, for example, has the flat roofs, right? So you get the flat roof issue, you have snow, maybe tar, apartment stuff, all that is, you talk about those topics in roofing as it applies to that market. Neighborhoods, if you remember, you've been following along, we did the neighborhood research. So you want to talk about the neighborhoods that you researched in there and what about them, demographics, spend, how the history of the neighborhood. So there's relevancy to my city. And then what the hell is that here? Oh, stuff. So points of interest. Near me things like coffee shop near me, or bars near me. Those are two that I like to do. Coffee shop and bars near me. So it's all relevant to this. On these, when we make them, I do custom Google Maps from that point of interest to the city location. And And in our case, we're probably not going to get Google Maps done right away unless I do that Craigslist thing, but we'll see. And then the neighborhoods to the location, roofing to the location. Get it? And then it goes to your city, and then your city points to your main roofing page. You're going to have, this is going to be city roofing. And then you're going to have your main roofing page. So this will be done inside of a, all of this down will be blog posts. Because I'm using WordPress. This will be a page. And inside of this will be a category with a 301 to that roofing page. You'll see it when we actually go through the build, how I do that. And I build my structure. So all my blog posts written about Miami will go to the city roofing page. And then the city roofing page will be in that category of roofing. So roofing / Miami / points of interest, right? And then it builds that whole silo straight up. And there's no category page with a whole bunch of crap inside of it in between my city page and my main money page. And that's how that'll work. And the goal is to rank this in the cities and then hopefully eventually rank that for roofing for the broad term. It ain't going to happen because of the way Google's showing local results now. But, you know, that would be the end goal behind doing that. Yep, exactly. So Papa's question is, so you create a category page with the same slug as the page itself, and that's exactly right. So if your page was roofing / roofing, then you create a roofing category and then 301 that to this. So that when you did your blog post, it says roofing Miami. But you're just erasing this out of the equation. So there's no, you never have to worry about duplicate content, you know, because the archives, you got your date archives, your author archives, your tags, all that crap. And then your blog post, it all creates the same page essentially, right? So I just eliminated that. And then I no indexed the tags because I wanted to have the tags for search. And then the date and author and all those other archives I just disable using Yoast, and I never have to. There's never a question about duplicate content because I'm not creating it. So that's the theory behind that setup. So are those 10 pages what your nav will be? Yes. Let me go ahead and get rid of some of the noise. We'll have to look, obviously, we'll have to look at the keywords that we end up with. Do you index the category page? It's because the category page is not there, you don't have to index it. Does that make sense? So we're creating it to have the 301 so we can leverage the URL structure inside of WordPress. If the other way you can do it, if you want to, is just build pages and make those pages child pages. But I like using the post function. It just, you know, it works for me. It's the same process. And when you submit the category page, if you want to, all it's going to do is redirect to your money page. So there's really no, technically it's indexed because it's there, but and then you say, do you no index it? No, because if you no index that category page that you have 301, then you're no indexing your money site, right? Or your money page. You don't want to do that. So to answer your question, no, you do not no index the category page. So roofing contractors, so roofing repair. My menu structure is probably going to be, I don't know why I keep grabbing the pen you guys can't see. My menu structure is going to be roof repair. roof replacement. Installations. Probably the maintenance. And then commercial and residential. That's probably going to be my my menu completely. If that makes sense. So maintenance, roof repair, replacement, install, commercial and residential. If depending on how crazy I want to get with things, I'll just probably do maintenance, repair, replace, installation, commercial, residential. Leave roof out of there because the entire site's about roofing, right? In the menu, and then when I name the pages, I'll add that roof repair, roof replace when I'm doing my optimization. So that'll create a cleaner menu, which really at the end of the day, I want to minimize, because the only reason I want you to come to my site is to call me. You can come to my site, read it, and call me, or leave. Is really the options that I want. I don't care about bounce rate. I care about phone calls. So if you come to my site and I have a 90% bounce rate, and I'm getting 50 phone calls a day or a month off of that, then I'm good, right? So I'm gonna lock you into a page. Much like if you were doing a landing page, you wouldn't create a landing page with a whole bunch of menus on it, because you only want them to do one thing, and that's to fill out your form. So that's the same process behind minimizing my menus like that. All right, so I know I went over a lot. That's about 45 minutes. I think it's pretty good. I'm not going to go over each one of those individual cities with you. I'll do that myself, and then next week we'll look at the building the site. I'll put the theme in place and all that stuff. I don't know that I'm going to have it designed by then. Probably not. So we'll put the theme in place. We'll look at the categories. We'll build all that stuff out. Build out the URL structure. The theme won't. Changing the design is not going to hurt any of that stuff. So we can do all that stuff next week. With that, you guys have any more questions about what we talked about today? I don't think so. Make sure I covered everything. Okay, here's one. If you are just focusing on one city, would you just use the same thing but target similar surrounding cities? The surrounding cities is, if it's just one city, then you don't have to worry so much about that extra city site structure that I had written up there. And then these pages would be optimized for that city, and then your smaller surrounding cities that you're going to hit. So if we were doing Phoenix, then I'd have Phoenix roof repair, and then I'd have another page for Glendale, Scottsdale, Tempe, Mesa, if that makes sense. In our case, we know that we're going to take this nationally eventually. That's the end goal. It's not going to be a one and done project for that one city. So that's why I built it the way that I did. If you do it your way, Gabe, you can have multiple sites and not have all your eggs in one basket kind of thing. But if you do it the way that I'm building it out, now I have an authority site, and you just keep growing upon itself and itself and itself. And since we're not going to be douchebags with it and spam the hell out of it, and we're using it as a solid business funnel type of website, then that way we don't have to worry so much about penalties and something happening and getting wiped out, etc. So we're building a solid white hat platform to create for our needs. If that makes sense. Versus one and done websites. One and done will work though. You can create a site like you were talking about, just one city, and then buy a whole bunch of domains and just duplicate the site and switch over the cities, and you're good. I've seen that a lot. Okay, any other questions? Going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are those supporting pages going to appear anywhere on the site? No, we're not going to highlight them. Maybe if you land on a blog page, you'll see them, but we're not going to actually, promote them, market them in any way aside from sending some backlink stuff, which we'll cover later. That might rank them. I've had my supporting pages rank just because of how we built them, and they rank on their own without a whole lot of backlink load. So it's just some benefit, extra traffic. It won't convert to much of anything, but it's it helps. But to answer your question, no, they won't be identifiable. They won't be in a menu structure. We won't specifically drive traffic internally to those pages. Beyond the interlinking of the pages, and finding them in organic is really the only way you're going to know that they're there. All right, sweet. So that's been it. Episode 65, mapping out the structure, keyword research. Talked a lot about that. Showed you my spreadsheet. I think you guys got plenty enough to see of that to recreate it yourself. It's not really that hard. Otherwise, reach out to Chris Winters if you know him, and maybe he can give you a copy of it. I'll see why he wouldn't. Or get that Calsy thing. It's $29 a month and $297. There's a bunch of people pimping it right now, so the $297 is worth it. So if you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below. I will get to them, or you can leave them on the site at Digitaleer and get yourself some backlinks from my comment section too. All right, guys. See you next week.